together. We have done so much, and it's always an honor to evaluate you. I'm so totally bummed I did not get the opportunity to evaluate you for your 10 speech, but I'm glad to see you moving on to your books. How many of you were here yesterday for the speech-a-thon? Well, then most of you may have heard Shawn's story about Princess Josephine, and now he's going to do a continuation of Princess Josephine called Brother Poppy. So, Brother Poppy, Shawn Naughton, Brother Poppy.
Thank you, Madam Director, and Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and all the division leadership that's here. I'll just say that, division leadership. Today I want to tell the story. It starts out once upon a time. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful princess. She lived in a big white castle with pink and purple polka dots. And she was excited because today was the day that her father was going away. And she was sad that her father was going away because he did a lot of visits. He was the king, you know. He had to go do these visits to other countries, but she always knew that he'd come back and bring her a gift. So she was excited about that. Well, when the father was away, the king was in Russia. He had to go to the woods, the mountains in Russia. And while in the woods in Russia, he stumbled upon a little black bear. And he looked at the bear and said, "What's your name?" And the bear looked up at him and said, "My name's Poppy." And he asked the bear, "Well, where's your parents? Because you're just a little baby black bear." And he said, "I don't know. I've lost my parents. I've lost my way. I don't know where I am." So the king said, "You know what? I have a home for you, and I have a beautiful daughter that would love for you to come home and be her brother." And the bear thought, "Wow, that'd be great. I get to see a family, get to live with a family. But are there trees there?" And the king said, "Yes, of course there are trees there." So the king brought him along and loaded him up with the convoy to head back home. And while he was on his way home, he secretly had construction workers go into the castle and build a room for Poppy. This was a special room. And I'll tell you about that. And when he got back to the castle, you could see Josie, his princess, standing in the doorway, and she was so excited to see him. And he just casually got out of the coach, and Poppy was still inside. He didn't say anything. And he waited for her to run up to him and give him a big hug, and she kept looking around, and that's when he said, "Poppy, come on out." And Poppy jumps out. Little black bear, Josie was so excited to see him, they gave a big hug. And she was already in love at first sight. And so they proceeded to, and she asked the king, "Where's Poppy going to live? Where's his room?" And the king said, "Well, I've created a secret room for you. It's for Poppy." He didn't know about it. So they went to the corner of the castle, and what the king had done, he built this whole room in the middle of in the corner, and he had no ceilings, actually no floors above. It was all just till the top of the castle where it had glass. And he filled in the room with trees, big, huge trees, and it looked just like the Russian forest. It had a beautiful stream that ran right through the middle. And of course, he stocked it with salmon because bears love salmon. And in one corner, he had blueberry and blackberry bushes and strawberries because he wanted to make sure Poppy was well fed and would grow up to be a big bear. And then he also, I think he was a Winnie the Pooh fan, he built a huge tree that Poppy can climb up to and stick his hand in for some honey. So Poppy was so excited, he couldn't believe they were running, Josie and Poppy were running from area to area, seeing how exciting it was. And then they got to the very corner of the room, and they built a hill with a cave in it, and it was all covered in grass. And so they spent the day playing on the hill and rolling down the hill and getting to know each other pretty well. And then, towards the evening, Poppy started to get pretty exhausted. He had a long way there, and he had just played and played. So it was time for him to go to sleep. So they went into the cave, and that's when Princess Josie noticed a little bed for Poppy. And so she tucked him in, tucked him goodnight, and gave him a big kiss and said, "Your princess loves you." And then she went to bed. And of course her father, the king, came in and gave her a big kiss and said, "Your daddy loves you. Good night." So the moral of the story is, true love and love at first sight are realities. They can't happen. Thank you.